And I have returned. Welcome back. Just getting my diffuser with some more peppermint in it. Okay. We left off with the planning for the creation of the Ulrich, because this zinc is going to be a huge zinc ore build. For those of you watching the VODs, welcome back. Do all the social stuff, etc., etc. We are moving on with zinc today. Slash in this second half of the stream. I will not actually get any zinc ore today. I want to throw that concept out there. Not getting any zinc ore today. Likely not even going to come close to it, and the reason is collagen. Primarily. That's primarily the reason. Also guar gum, which I apparently didn't actually break down the guar gum as part of this either. I already have guar up here. I'll have to like get rid of this to get the accurate amount that I need for the Ulrich food. But yeah, that's a thing. Two, you also need guar gum. Getting into drilling fluid 2. Drilling fluid 2, I will add, is used for a few other things that you can mine. It's not available for moly, molybdenum ore. You need drilling fluid 3 for molybdenum ore. Now, drilling fluid 3 actually ends up being a little bit more, a little easier, I think, because it's water instead of hydrogen chloride. Uh, drilling fluid 3, what is it again? I always forget. It's not hydrogen chloride on drilling fluid 3. It is water. It's salt with chromium and collagen and guar gum and ethylene glycol and boric acid. So basically everything in drilling fluid 2, but not hydrogen chloride. Instead, you get chromium, salt, and water. And this is what you would use to drill for molybdenum through ground boring. There's one other thing too. It's the niobium that it gets used for, but there's no point in PyBlock. You don't need to do ground boring for niobium. You can consider ground boring for moly. It's, by the way, I have remembered it's moly that's the dingret spikes. Yeah, it's moly that's the dingret spikes, and cridron seeds and tufra. Yeah, that's the one that you atomize for that uses spikes. Um, this is very tempting. The problem is that cridron is really late in the game, and it's also not very speedy or productive. So ultimately here it's Chufra, I think. That's the winner of the atomizer recipes to get into Molly. Just for reference there, going forward. So we are in the process of making our first Ulrich for this build. Ulrich, not for bone meal, but for skin. And the reason I will go for the Ulrich instead of Augs is basically because the Ulrich farms are smaller. The Ulrich paddocks are 2 tiles smaller in their length and width than the Aug paddocks, which means you can fit more into a given amount of space. Their food recipe, however, is a little bit more involved in that it does use Guar and Relesia and Fawogae for the food. And wood. So a bit more involved with the food, but I would say that for me it should be worthwhile doing this, especially since I already have a Relesia flower factory up here. I have a few units of Relesia being made out of my 200 Relesia plantations, which, by the way, I will state again that actual craft time actually shows accurate values now. So this factory is this build is producing a few units of Relesia in net total. A few. In fact, I think it is, yeah, about 8-ish actually, because a lot gets eaten up by the seeds. A lot gets eaten up in that loop for the seeds. So yeah, I've got a few of those. I've got a few spare on the Relesia. So effectively, what I would need would be to bring in wood to set up Fawogae, to bring in Relesia, and to set up Guar. But there's always a but. We're probably going to do a dedicated Guar build. I'm thinking of having a block just dedicated to Guar, probably many blocks just dedicated to Guar. Should theoretically also have a block dedicated to Fawogae and just not repeat myself that often with the Fawogae. Same with Ash, I should just have a block just making Ash and throwing it into trains. So I think that's what I'll do. I think that's what I'll do. I think this time around I also want a block for food. Because the food recipes have a lot of overlap. There is a lot of overlap on food recipes between the basic and the advanced food recipes. Uh, there are a lot of foods that are available, basically one for every animal, including aquatic animals. So that's what I think I will do overall. It's a really huge train station if I wanted to do that, though. So I would need a lot of space for train station to bring stuff in and to ship stuff out. But yeah, any word yet on the Guar Pi Alien Life rework? No. No. This was asked on the community Discord, like overnight last night, and King was like, no, when asked by Immortal Sniper about the Guar rework, and he was like, no, no work has been done on that thus far. King's got a lot of stuff being worked on. Let's see. I'm moving to science. I'm trying to get to science right now. Speaking of science, where's the red science? There it is. Because I need red science to actually make the horse DNA sample thingies. For my Ulrich. My beautiful Ulrich. Wow. Really? Glassware. What? What has happened to my glassware? What has happened to my latex? Latex? Oopsies. Latex died. Where's my latex? I should have 2 per second of latex being produced, and neither of these are moving. What did I do? There's no power here. Oops. Oopsies. What I wanted to actually do, I think, was to trim the power going into the seaweed facilities because the seaweed facilities don't need power. Latex needs power, though. Like, the whole build's making the latex. Yeah, they need the power, though. There you go. Enjoy the power. And yes, flashy lights, but doesn't matter. Doesn't matter in the slightest. Just trying to prevent the game from trying to move power across surfaces. That's all I'm really trying to do to help improve the performance, because moving power across surfaces does appear to be quite taxing on performance. Anyway, this is something I should have done a long time ago. Just grab a few units of science there to take to the mall. For those of you who are watching the VODs and have not done so already, do not forget to vote in the poll that's currently ongoing through the 3rd of September-ish. Technically through the 2nd. I will be providing the results on the 3rd of September. For what to play as a reward for hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. That is what I will be doing. I will be doing a full playthrough of something on Saturdays, Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. And you get to vote on it. You get to do your voting on it. I have a big list of things that you can vote on. Provide as many answers as you like on this particular poll. Whatever gets the most votes in the end will be what I end up playing, and the rest of the results are just indications to me as to the type of content that is desired, shall we say. The tastes of the audience is what we're going for here. Even though it does look like, yeah, one item in particular, of course, is getting a bunch of votes at the moment. Although I do find it interesting, some of these other results that are getting votes that are not Factorio related, that is good to know. That is good to know. These other things that are getting votes. I am very happy to see other things besides Factorio getting votes of any kind. So that gets me into a conversation actually in regards to the actual state of the channel itself and like the content in general. It is not lost on me that my streams, for one, have had, shall we say, fewer than normal, or fewer than previously, the average viewership. Average viewership is down pretty significantly. There was a time there where I was getting like 15 to 20, even 25 people watching towards the beginning, especially when PyAlien Life launched. Like, of course, it'll be down after the initial release of the PyAlien Life stuff, but even in PyBlock thus far, there was a spike for PyBlock, but now it's like down to like under 10 average viewers, which is not particularly great. And that also gets me into the fact that, you know, my channel thus far, my growth thus far that's happened, has been exclusively on the back of Pyanodon's mods for Factorio. And that needs to change. That's a niche that wasn't being filled, that I have filled, and now more people, of course, are coming in and making content of it. That's basically expected to happen. Like, I'm not angry that I no longer am the only person making Pyanodon's content, not the only one streaming it, at the very least, anymore. but I do need to start making different content than just Pyandon's mods. And this particular poll, you will notice, doesn't include anything regarding the Pie Suite on it. None of it is Pie Suite stuff on this particular poll for more content. There's other Factorio content, which, of course, I'm expecting Factorio to win in some description this poll for the 1,000 sub goal. Like that, without question, it's going to be Factorio something. I'm just interested in like what specifically about Factorio folks want to see, not including space exploration because it sucks and is terrible and awful. I don't like it at all. Not in the slightest, until such time as they allow you to completely disable the asteroid mechanic or meteor mechanic, as well as completely remove the dependency upon robot attrition. I am not a fan of stuff destroying what I've built ever. Like I do not want the things that I've built over several hours to just suddenly be destroyed. I hate it. That's why I don't play with biters. In the first place, I'm not a fan. Not a fan of any of that. And the problem with the meteors is even if you do set the amount of time between meteors to any value, like it doesn't still completely eliminate meteors. It's not still completely gone as a mechanic. It still exists. It still exists, and I don't like it. I don't like it. It also needs alien biomes to function for space exploration, and I haven't been much of a fan of the alien biomes lately either, just because of how many stones it adds in general, how many rocks get added to the map, and it uses a ton of memory. It uses a ton of memory. Just absolutely gargantuan amounts of memory. So I have other options on that list of things, overhauls to play. Couple other overhauls, as well as vanilla is on that list of games to play. So what was I doing again? Right, I was making Ulrich. In the process of letting this happen for the DNA samples, which it seems I do have some DNA samples now. I need a creature chamber placed with water feeding it. Creature chambers, where are you? Here? Preferably somewhere within my logistic network. Ulrich needs water. Get the requester provider. There you go. Just need the codices brought over, which, you know, it's gonna get stolen from the DNA samples. I can absolutely limit this chest. Make sure I absolutely limit the chest. It does use the good samples. I provided a bunch, so we should have a few Ulrich get made. This is going to take a while. It's going to take a while. So in the meantime, while those are being made, that's my first Ulrich that's happening. We're getting Ulrich today. I can continue on and look at. Let's just do a Guar build, I guess. That's something I am comfortable with doing in this immediate moment. Alright, a Guar build. How many Guar plantations do I even have? Probably nowhere near enough. Nowhere near enough? Oh, right, I could make fertilizer, but I don't really have what I need for that right now, I think. Do I want to spend lamps on Guar is always a fantastic question to ask myself. It's like, do I spend the lamps on this? Because, yeah, it's not that easy of an equation to solve. Lamps, sand, clay, water, CO2. Lamps, sand, soil, water, CO2. The clay, I think, is the better one. 8 every 18. 30 every 80. 8 every 18. 30 every 80. Yeah, 8 every 18 is the faster, the higher output recipe. But that is lamps for every 8. One lamp for 8 versus one lamp for 30. One lamp for 8. One lamp for 30. Gee, I wonder what's the better option there. Like, hey, this is a faster recipe. Objectively, this is a faster recipe. Produces more per second. But it's one lamp for 8 versus one lamp for 30. Like, of course I would pick the one lamp for 30. Like, without question. One lamp for 30. That's 40 guar bean plantations currently. I'll point out the currently. This is all going to get overhauled at some point, and we're going to cry when that happens. That is a lot of compost plants. Wow. Tar-based compost is real slow. Is real slow. What's the alternative out of the creamy latex again? 5. But also like 23 of those. Yeah, nah. And then there's also the moss loop. That's an option. Where's and there's seaweed, of course, but that's a lot of seaweed. A lot of space from seaweed. The moss loop would end up being a lot of CO2, a lot more CO2. The compost out of the phytoplankton. Let's say biomass hot air just for the sake of lower numbers of things. 35 phytoplankton Mark 1s. That's a bit. That's also a lot of hot air, considering. A lot of infrastructure for that hot air. So 40. Is that reasonable? That might not be too reasonable, but we'll go with it. And for all intents and purposes, I think my build should at least be 15, because that's my current belt limit. And then if I need to double, I can double the build, depending on how much space it uses. So that'll be the build that we do going forward today. And I can just discuss a little bit about why we need to start moving forward with different types of content. You go with logs every time. Well, yes, while logs output a high amount, it's like I can show the logs at the very least. So the logs is also going to be a relatively large build to get that 15 out. Here, where even is logs on this list? Logs? There's wood, saplings, seeds. Where's logs? There's wood, sapling, seeds. Why is logs not next to that? There's logs. Logs! Yes, it's 0.5 logs, but 0.5 logs is a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff. And you need seedlings. It's not just that simple, because you need the seedlings, and you need to loop wood, and you need to get the wood out of the logs, and yeah. That ends up being a bit of infrastructure, and these are not small buildings either. So it's honestly, in my opinion, going to be easier for me, logistically, to do the phytoplankton through this. So I need 2 compost plants, 2 gas refineries. Yes, 22 buildings, but you have to take into account the size of said buildings. And the modules that you are using for the trees as well. To make it move in the first place. Just the size, the space involved, and the logistics involved. So I need those. And I need those. Make more, please. And I should have everything I need now for this. Question of the day. Where the hell is this going to live? Here, I have decided this will be Guar. And it will just be Guar. It will not be Guar gum. And it will not be Guar seeds. It's just going to be Guar. And I will make Guar gum wherever I need Guar gum. So, yes, as I had been saying, a lot of my content has been Pie Sweet thus far, and I want to start expanding out. And to begin expanding out, ideally, I would start with something related to what I'm doing right now. And what is related is other Factorio overhauls and vanilla Factorio. Just different forms of Factorio content than now that will expand a little bit the type of content that I am producing into a somewhat more general niche, but still pretty specific because we're still on Factorio, right? But my goal, shall we say, is to expand a little bit more into general Factorio type of games and related simulation, management, strategy type games, and maybe also role-playing games. Like that's the idea, and if there is any interest in like even broader gaming in general, then absolutely I'll go with that. But everything has to be in stages, because in this whole process, the idea, of course, is to grow the audience. Have more people. More people! That's the idea. We need more people who will have a broader array of tastes that are coming to watch me perform these titles. And yes, I very much use the word perform. I am performing. I'm educating. I am also performing. That's 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20! Through flue gas. Please actually assign the recipe. That would be great. That would be fantastic to actually assign the recipe. Oh, and it's not lost on me that, yes, I could use Guar to make compost, but the way I planned it is very specific. I have very specifically planned this to not loop Guar, even though looping Guar is absolutely an option. I'm gonna do this, do it right, do it so that you only have to do it once. Ta-da! Paste all of that all the way down the line. So yeah, my intent with this poll and with the 1,000 subscriber reward is to gauge people's interests in other types of content. That is my sneaky plan. Is I want to gauge the interest in the other types of content of my existing audience, and then ideally, when I do get to doing the broader array of content, it will appeal to not everyone in my current audience, but to enough of my current audience, as well as helping to bring more people in who will hopefully also be interested in my Factorio content and my PySuite content, and have more people playing the PySuite. Like that'd be great, right? If more people are interested in playing the PySuite, right? Or at least attempting to play the PySuite or revisit the PySuite because they thought it was way too hard at the start. As I'm sure a number of people have already experienced that, where they have decided to have another look at it after watching my content of it, and are like, oh, this guy can do it. I can do it better. I do hope there are people out there who are like, I can do this better, and then are actually playing and doing it better than me. Because that's how everything gets to advance going forward. Have better experiences going forward. Yeah, this is fine. You. I picked up a dude. Go. Be free. Be free, my nanobot. My nanoist of bot. Well, that's nifty. However, that's right in front of a power pole, so... Eh. There. That works. This makes... how much? A lot? 2383? So, 2 belts. You know, just casually 2 belts. A full belt of biomass to go into 6 of these high-pressure furnaces. Wow. Wow. 6 high-pressure furnaces. Where... how do I want you? Just like so. 15 divided by 6 is what? 2.5. Pretty sure a blue inserter is fine for this. At this phase where I have the +1 on the inserter capacity bonus. If I am remembering my values correctly. There we go. Everything has power? Yes, it does. This needs a kickstart, does it not? Yes, this needs a bit of biomass to get it moving. Do I have any in my storage? I think so. I'll just request a stack of biomass. Yeah, so I've got like 15,000 units in logistics storage right now, so they can just bring me some. Just bring me a stack of that stuff. It's in this storage. That was pretty quick for you. All right, we've got our wonderful titanium tetrachloride stripped distillates cumene recipe, which is my favorite among all of these recipes. The fuel oil is useful-ish. That's a pretty decent ratio. Of course, you are spending titanium tetrachloride for this. We've also got an olefins out of strip distillates. You can actually completely skip olefins, like, to be completely honest. You don't actually need olefins to complete a PySuite game at all. And then this is light oil out of stripped distillates with gasoline. That is pretty useful, actually. Yes, because that is a 1 to 3 ratio on that stripped distillates into light oil. That is pretty nice. That is pretty nice. The only side input here, catalyst, that gets used is in the form of the gasoline, actually. So, yeah, that I'm okay with this. This is a good recipe if you're trying to get into light oil. I would say that this is a pretty good recipe to get into light oil. Um, what do I want to take next? What shall be next, as my allergies are still keeping me congested? Let's just get this braking force stuff. I've got a few trains. I've got a few trains going about the place. I can get rid of those creature chambers as well. I should actually have now my initial Ulrich. We have 3 Ulrich! 3 whole Ulrich, and we're making a 4th, actually, with the green light there. It shows that we've got another one on its way. Yay! Hey, we can not have to wait quite as long to get the Ulrich flowing as before, as with the Kickalk. So, yeah. That's all of that now sorted-ish. As soon as I get that biomass. They still haven't arrived? What? Dudes. Please. Where's all the biomass? Where are they coming from? Oh, there they are. Hi! There they are. Maybe I stepped out of the logistics zone briefly, and they had to reconnect. I don't know. Here comes the train. The wonderful train of the biomass. Okay. Yeah, in case folks were wondering, on the poll, ABX for Factorio is Angel's Bob's Space Extension. That's that's what that one means if you're confused by it, by that particular option on my poll right now. That's Angel's Bob's Space Extension. Because I haven't seen Angels in a while. Not really looked in deep detail about Angels lately. Oh yeah, this is also using lamps, so I need to have a train station bringing those in. I'm not doing this near my lamps. Oh, pretty sure I don't have lamps. I do have lamps. Wow, hey. Hi, lamps. Yes, there's, I'm sure, lots of new stuff in Angels that have been added over the past year since I've done a complete playthrough of it. It's been a year since I've done anything with it. Mad Clowns adds a bit much. It's like the thing about Mad Clowns is that at that point you have to just say you're playing Mad Clowns, not really Angels Bobs as much. You have to be very specific if you're using that because that adds in a lot of changes. It adds in new ores. It adds in a new nuclear system. It adds in there's also science changes with Mad Clowns. It's like yeah, there's a lot that changes in there, and I want to see what's changed in Angels more so than Mad Clowns currently. Um, but that's only if that wins in this vote. It's competing with some other stuff. So I actually have the lamps from like right above me. Like, hi, I have lamps right above me being requested. I don't need to request that here. Yay! Huzzah! Good stuffs. Good stuffs. Let's get an indicator of how much sand and soil I need, as well as I don't need the water. That's all I really need to know, is that this is 23, 8. Well, I'll ignore it's 23 because what I'll actually have is a line of washers with 3 soil extractors. So I wish I could just ignore this, which means turning off the matrix solver. Set that to 100%. Switch that up so it tells me that to get those 20, it's 6 extra soil extractors. Yay! Now we know. It's 6 extra soil extractors. I should have some build for this. I don't know if I have it available to me right now, but either way. Yes, you've caught the last 45 minutes-ish of the stream today. I have made my good alien samples, and I have now planned out, like, the next 2 weeks of streams going forward in the form of this beautiful monstrosity of a thing. This beautiful monstrosity of a thing is probably going to be a lot of streams going forward. We're trying to get zinc ore through ground boring. Zinc ore through ground boring. Needs drilling fluid too. Needs collagen. Needs skin. Needs Ulrich. I've chosen to do Ulrich-based skin just because Ulrich is a smaller paddock, corral, whatever, than the Augs. And I've sort of got independent builds of a lot of this stuff already. I've got independent builds of a lot of the stuff for the Ulrich food, which is why I'm tempted to do it in this way. And I'm doing a dedicated Guar build right now. That's like what I'm doing is the dedicated Guar build right now. You can see though a lot of this is like 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 1 2 5, etc. All these buildings that are just one of these buildings. So a lot of this is like false complexity. It's just have the thing, do the logistics between the things. Don't worry about it. You're fine. It's all fine. It's this build that's going to be the biggest concern, of which I've just made a few units of Ulrich. I now have greater than 0 Ulrich. I need 800 some odd Ulrich for this build. I need a little over 800 Ulrich modules for this build to fit this, to fill this. And I need the Guar, basically, and a Fawogae build. So we're doing a Fawogae build and a Guar build and an Ash build into a food setup into Ulrich corrals for skin. I'm then going to copy paste the build to do bone meal and swap an Aug build off of bone meal into something else. I am not yet decided on what that something else is going to be at this point. And then, yeah, it's just like doing all of the other stuff to get into the zinc ore, and I will then need to process said zinc ore, and that processing of the zinc ore is going to be this right here. There's this processing of the zinc ore through powdered zinc. That this is unlocked with Blue Science Tech to get into the powdered zinc casting, and that's what I will end up doing once I get the ore. But I sort of need to get the ore first. And we're starting with Guar. We are on the path to zinc now that I have the good alien samples. Made use of those good alien samples to get into Ulrich. So we actually have some progression now. Someone did a subscription and didn't do a toast in the chat about it. So thank you, person who did a subscription. I've noticed that value has increased to 5 from 4 on my dashboard here. So huzzah, yay, all that good stuff. I am well aware that people may not have their Prime subs right now because of uh, Summer Games Done Quick Online, just wrapping up from this past weekend. They raised over $2.3 million for Doctors Without Borders. I saw, and I'm sure a lot of people spent their Prime subs on that because all of that revenue is also going to Doctors Without Borders. So yeah, good stuff. Charity, all that charity action. I need 8. That's not the spacing though. Actually, I have things. Where are you? Where are my things? I have a thing for soil. Where is it? I have all these builds for stone, but where's the soil? There's the soil. There's the soil right there. That's 5. 5 doohickeys for soil. I need a few more. I need +3 on that. And I need to upgrade to multi-purpose pipes. There we go. We are multi-purpose now. Multi-porpoise. Just connect all these lines and then connect it up to the main power. Excuse me, but connect. Thanks. There you go. It's working. So all of that plus 6. All of that plus 6 of these. There we go. Yeah, that's a few units of stuffs. I only need 20 per second though, so might have to do some stacking here. Or I send a line into 2 separate lines of the guar bean plantations. So the guar bean plantations. Let's have a look at the space involved here. I'm just thinking about the way that I'm building this in that in the frame of reference that I might want to double it. So these are pretty small buildings. If I can fit Alright, that tells me I think that works this way. I can fit it very easily here. Really wherever I want in here. So let me do that. I guess there. No, not like that. Alignment, please. No, don't steal the things. They stole 3 of them. Now we have to wait as my construction bots bring the other things in. Yay, waiting. So I'm doing this recipe, the 30 every 80 seconds for 1 lamp and sand, soil, and CO2. Why? When there's a recipe that gives higher output. That is because this is 1 lamp into 30 versus 1 lamp into 8. That is a very key distinction to make there. Also, this spacing needs a little bit of adjusting. And I'm going to do what? I'm going to have two separate input lines, top and bottom. I might not actually need to change the spacing there. One. I do need to change spacing here by one tile. This will be the lamps or whatever. I don't know which way I'll bring these in. I think it's going to come from the right on these lamps. Lamps in, Guar out. Where are those dudes? Bring me stuff. Ah, Browser. It's not in the... Oh, it is in the logistics zone. Okay, sure. Fine. It stole another one. Great. Thank you, construction bots. You're so kind. Each time I do that, I have to wait for them to pick up and deliver from way up here. Here they are. Here's two of them. Two of the constructo bots on their way. Also need to add lots of pipe. Make sure all of that rotation is accurate. Pipes, inserters, and power poles. That's the key. Okay. Yes, insert, output, input. That should be pasteable down the whole line. And then the rotation is not quite the same. On that front, I need to rotate those specific things, but otherwise, off we go again. And of course, one of these is sand, one of these is soil on the bottom. And top. These two. That's fine. Okay. Sand. 8. So every 4. Yes, every 4. Let's have you go bottom. And then that's gonna come from over here. Surprised I'm still in the range here. This is a little bit more problematic just because of the spacing. But I can work with this. There we go. Excellent. That's capable of moving as soon as I get the fluids in. And the lamps, of course. Wow, that actually aligned perfectly. That's not often that we get such perfect alignment. Actually, I want to do this way. That'll be the... Excuse me. Did I not do a thing? Oh, right. Duh. Boink. Move. Live, please. Please be alive. Make things. Cycle stuff. That'll be the CO2. The water is, well, just water. That's pretty easy enough. Just do that. And then lamps. Beautiful, glorious lamps. The way that I actually built this, I think the lamps are going to have to actually come, like, around, do interesting things with their logistics. Because I didn't plan accordingly. Theoretically, the way that I could build this is like that, and not even need any internal belt, so I think I should be building like that. Let's go, let's get those lamps. Let's get those lamps. Just split them off from here. Ooh, is there enough? No. Of course not. Right. Right. Ah, screw you, game. We did it! We did it! We've got lamps now being provided onto the stuffs. Wonderful lamps. Slowly but surely accruing the flue gas in here. I guess I need to prioritize left on the output here to make sure that we are getting everything that we need in the flue gas before going into the CO2, which is spending the biomass. Yeah, that makes more sense to me. Eventually this will back up on... Oops. Back up on biomass, or on flue gas. I ended up rotating the machine there. Briefly. These will all operate eventually. And we'll be good to go. And as soon as the lamps come in, we'll start having our Guar. Speaking of the Guar should go this way to escape. Now, the benefits of this build. How much space is this build ultimately using? If I do that copy, if I do the removal of all rails and signals on that build, if I look up, this build can get pasted up to 3 times, actually, in a single square. Wow. That's convenient. In a single one of my grid squares, 3 of these can technically fit. However, it would have been nice if that could tuck in like so. Would have been nice if that could tuck in by like so. I do have a little bit of a gap here, but even if I shifted this over to fill that gap, it still wouldn't be enough. Yeah, it's like 3 off. I do have space here. I could make it fit, but why bother? Why even bother? And then yeah, if I tried to do 3, there wouldn't be any room for the train station. That's the point I was trying to make. There, it wouldn't have space for train station if I did 3, so 2 it will be. Speaking of train station, there is train station. I can get rid of that. I can get rid of that. No, I shouldn't have gotten rid of both of those. Let me use them to my advantage to place down the loaders. I can get rid of that though. Just look to the side. I see that Ollie is in another chair, sleeping. Ollie, why you sleep over there in that chair? I want you next to me. Why are you sleeping next to me? I guess he's learned that if he sleeps next to me, he ends up getting disturbed by pets. I suppose that that he has learned that he gets disturbed by pets if he sleeps next to me. I hope that's not the case, and that it's more like that other seat is more comfortable than the desk next to me. Ah, I swear these allergies. Wow. I can hear the nasally noises from my allergies. Peppermint, do better work. I need you to do better work down there. Alright. Just add power. And a train. Not there. Not that way. What's the line? That's the line. Oh, hey, we have Guar. By the way, we have Guar. We've got the stuffs now. Also, something I haven't even looked at yet is, like, Archods. I haven't even looked at Archods. Ever, really. But, yeah. Like, for early phases of the game. Like, the only time I looked at Archods in the Haidu Valley series was simply the point in which I absolutely needed them. Supply Guar. 1. Apparently, someone likes trains. Depot Guar 1. Someone really likes trains. Bobs and Angels is harder now? Well, yeah, I'm pretty sure that it's harder now, considering that the wood is different than it used to be. That much I know at this point. Guar. Apply to demand. Like, if you have Bob's greenhouses installed now with Angels, the greenhouses give you trees that you then have to process into wood. It doesn't actually just give you wood like it used to. For those who don't know, Bob's greenhouses used to give you just straight up wood from water and seedlings. And you would have to use some of that wood to make the seedlings again, and it would just cycle in that way. Now there's an extra step with Angels in that it gives you trees. And you have to cut the trees by feeding into an assembling machine the trees plus blades. and the blades have a chance of getting returned, a pretty high chance of getting returned, and there are better blades that you get access to with additional tech that have a lower chance of getting consumed. But that is a bit of logistics that you have to deal with, is this cycling blade, as well as the trees going in and the wood coming out, and then the wood back to the seeds that have to be made in a actual building, special building now to get the seeds from the wood. It's yeah, it's a little bit more complex, and I like it. I like that change greatly. But that's about as far as I got in terms of realistic changes that have been made to the Angels setup, in particular, Bob's Angels. This is 15 per second, and stack size is 500. Yeah, you're gonna have 2 slots per train. You can do your thing. I said this is 15 per second. Why you not 15? Why you no 15? Why you no CO2? Are we still cycling? I think we're still cycling. Are we still cycling? Are we still cyclical? Yes. We are still cyclical. Did I need more than one? I did. Of course I did. I needed 2. Of course I did. Right. Well then. This is interesting. I need to adjust and fix. You there. You there. Let's make this a little bit more convenient. Not there. Just kill all that for me. There you go. Ta-da! I fixed it. Now I should get the full 15 out. Ideally. Which means I need to delete this, because it's not right. And when I need more Guar, I can expand to more Guar. That's as simple as that. What the hell am I going to do for another 15 minutes? I don't know. Fawogae build? Fawogae? Does that sound ideal? I wanted to get Fawogae on my train network anyway, so let's go ahead and actually plan around that concept of a Fawogae build. A beautiful, inglorious, water-based Fawogae build out of these guys. This is going to be 1-to-1, by the way, in terms of spore collectors to Fawogae plantations for however many I want out of this. 151. Okay. Oh, 60. What? It's not 1-to-1? Question marks? I was certain. Oh, it's probably 1-to-1 at the 0.4. Yeah, it's about 1 to 1 when it's the 0.4 recipe, not the 0.6. 40% versus 60% output recipe. That explains a bit. Is this 1 to 2 then? Not really. It's better than that. It's a bit better than that, but for all intents and purposes, it can be 1 to 2, I think. It's more like 1 to 2.5, 2.5 rather than 2. But I will accept that. Not much water either. Where did I park? Over here. All right, we're good. Right? We're good. We're good. GUD, we're good. Pretty sure we're good with Guar. We can move on with our lives now. We're good with Guar, and then countdown until the Guar overhaul is released on Sunday. I will slightly cry a few tears if Guar was actually updated and released Sunday or sooner. Like, oh yeah, just, as soon as because of course, as soon as I build these things is when they get updated, right? And then you have to update it and change it because it's now superfluous. It's changed and not functional. And the build, it's like, oh yeah, here's 15 per second of stuff. It's going to be 10. It's going to be like 5. Just you wait. This recipe is going to be like 5 per second after this overhaul. That'll go through eventually. But until then, we're going to make use of it while we've got it. Okay. I am in my mall to grab Fawogae plantations, which I probably have nowhere near enough. I have enough. And the spore collectors, which I definitely don't have enough of. Can I help you out to make more? Move faster. I've got 25. I need 60 some odd. Actually, I need more than that because it's going to be 1 to 2 effectively. Unless I build this where they're in the construction zone, then I don't have to worry. I can just do ghosts. All right, that's the plan. Hello, Fawogae build. Where's this build going to be? I guess we'll do this. This will be Fawogae. Let's go take care of it. In our last 11 minutes of the stream today. Apparently my own stream got a network 2000 error. Gee, thanks. Thanks for that. Let's have a move over this away. As I set other stuff up. Going down. It's our good alien samples. There they are. The cute little good alien sample build. Wonderful. Okay, here we are. We've arrived. We have arrived. What I'm gonna do actually is put a requester chest down. And request these guys. Like all of the amount that I need. And that way they'll just be delivered down here so that they're here rather than having to go back to grab them. Because I have the logistics zone again. all the way up here. Okay, so it's 1 into 2. Just gonna make sure I have somewhat decent spacing. Do I want a gap of 2? I guess that's how I'm building this, so sure. Oh yeah, I also... Duh. I need Fawogae. Did I put it in a supply chest? God, I hope so. It's like here, though. I did not use a supply chest. Great. Oh. Ollie just got up and left, and I see that Dolly is actually sleeping upside down at the foot of the other chair. So they were both in here, just not anywhere nearby. They must not like me picking them up to show the world their existence. Okay, are you even in the... No, of course you're not. Here, do that so you're actually in the thing. Give me a few units of Fawogae. Actually, didn't I put some in my vehicle? No, I did not. Here, have a few units for the vehicle. Actually, what is 151 by 20? 3,020. Okay, I need a few more. I need a few more units of those. I need like 11 stacks of those. That was not even remotely enough. That's enough now. There we go. There we go. That's more valuable. Okay, off over here. Over yonder. Okay. Fill those up. Set it to the water recipe. Provide the water with proper spacing. Provide outputs. Do I really want to use loaders? It would be a lot of inserters if I don't. I'm not going to use splitters. That's going to be the key. Or 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 2, 4, 6, 8, 30! Oh boy, 30 down a line. Excellent. Wait. There you go. And as soon as I put the spore recipe down, we should be good. Then I'll give you a hint as to what the rest of this is going to look like. Just gonna grab all of that beautiful stuff. Rotate. Align. And there you go. Oh. Vehicle. This is not good. Get the vehicle. Oops. Yeah, those are fragile. These spore collectors have 100 health. They're pretty fragile. Oh yeah, this is also going to be like a ton of loaders instead of inserters. Just didn't want to use the loaders. Just didn't want to do it. And power can connect just like so. There we go. They're moving. They're alive. They're moving. Must add water though. Oh, hello. I seem to have connected to the carbon dioxide line. I seem to have not done a thing that I should have done, which is trim all that. Okay, I don't need this per se, but we'll go with it anyway. So, 60. We're totally going to be like 180, by the way. Like, that's how this is going to end up, ultimately. If only I had actually spaced this so that I could do this. But then I wouldn't be able to fit 30 now, would I? There's that, and there's that. Hello, Fawogae. Oh boy. Grab those. Of what I've got thus far. Let's get placing. Place all the stuffs. This is so dumb. So dumb. Like this space is between all this empty white space is just killing me. But we'll be fine. Everything will be fine and glorious. Oh, I didn't. Right. I don't have enough algae plantations. Right. Bring me some of those. That's all going to come and fill in these requests along the way. They got placed already. Needs lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of power poles as well. But we're about 2 minutes from the end. That will essentially cover this Fawogae build. I will, of course, put a train station here. The only issue being that signal is in the way. Excuse me, what? That signal should have been... Oh, right, there's other signals. I think that covers what I need to cover with those signals. I'll find out shortly as I go down to place this intersection. Nothing's flashing at me, so we're good. Of course, I don't need any of that. Said I don't need any of that. Just go ahead. Excuse me. Pretty sure I said copy. Fawogae 1. Kill all of that. Not necessary. None of you are necessary. Your existence is not required. Oops, I killed my station as well. Fawogae 1. Exist for me, please. Just like you are Fawogae 1, the depot. The depot for the Fawogae. The supply station for the Fawogae. The station, supply, whatever you want to call it. What are you doing? Not you're not carrying anything. That you're on your way to me. What? They must have wanted to pick out stuff that was... Oh, alt mode. Alt mode. There you go. There you go. There's my deliveries. Well, with that, what have we gotten done today? Spent a long time talking. Of course, always spent a long time talking about what got done off screen in regards to all of this mess up here. The unslimed iron, the borax, and what will eventually be the copper, grade 4 molten copper casting. Ultimately, the goal is to fully replace and remove the Factorio mod from the face of existence. That's part of my plan, is to remove the Factorio mod from existence. I don't know what that does with the other surfaces that exist. Like, I need to figure out if there's a way to delete surfaces outside of Novice. And if they're removed when you remove Factorismo. I'll need to see about these things, because that would be necessary to kill off a bunch of other entities, right? If I left any entities behind on other surfaces, I don't know what happens if you actually remove Factorismo, if the game just kills those surfaces or not when there's no access to them anymore. But regardless, they do disappear. Okay, that would be not good if they did not disappear when you remove Factorismo. And the entity count stayed the same. It's like I need those entities to die. But I need all of the entities that are in factories to exist outside of factories, which is why I've been slowly getting all of the stuff that are in those factories built outside of the factories. That's what I am looking for. I have been disassembling some stuff that's in the factories. That's how I've actually been able to even get into the 60 frame rate range right now. I would be at like 40s range right now if I wasn't in the process of getting rid of all of the stuff that's inside of the Factorismo buildings and bringing them outside. Copper is the what I'm working on now. I still need to do the latex and the tin and the aluminium. Latex, tin, aluminium, basic substrate, lead, silver, Nexalit. This one, the glassware with optical sets, also needs to be replaced. And the fish farm processing, the fish processing also needs to be replaced. And glass. Glass needs replacing as well. Molten glass needs replacing. So, quite a few factories still remain, but the bulk of the problem actually has ended up being from the iron and copper stuff that hadn't been updated yet. So we're in the process of working off of that off screen. I have gone through and finished off the good alien samples today. We actually have good alien samples. Then we planned out the process of getting into the zinc ore. Planned out zinc ore. This is what the zinc ore is going to look like in the end. It's pretty big in terms of number of steps, but what I have decided to do here is ultimately we need collagen for the drilling fluid 2. Collagen needs skin. I don't have skin. I need skin. I will get skin. I have decided out of Ulrich. This has given me an opportunity now to set up Guar, which I will need anyway for Guar gum for the drilling fluid, as well as I have Relesia already in my factory. I have wood already in my factory. I need Fawogae, so I went ahead just now. We did a little Fawogae build for about 15 Fawogae out. So I will have that. I have the tin available. I can make the ash. I can do an ash build, dedicated ash build if I so desired, but uh, whatever. We'll make our ash later. And that'll be the stuff for the Ulrich build basically done. So it's like we've taken care of at this point quite a few of these steps. Like I can ignore now a lot of those steps. We're now down to basically this stuff to have to worry about. This is what we have to worry about going forward. And that's what we will be doing going forward in these streams. So with that, I would like to thank you all for watching. If you are watching the VODs on YouTube and you haven't done the poll voting, go ahead and do that poll vote now in the description below the video. Otherwise, continue doing all of the other engagement and social stuff that's down there. I do, of course, stream at twitch.tv/Otaku Showboat if you haven't already left a follow, so that you can watch live if you're able to watch live. You can, of course, support Planeton's mods development at patreon.com/Planeton and myself at patreon.com/Otaku Showboat. I will, of course, be continuing on the path towards Zinc when we return on Thursday. I will, of course, see you all then.